Are you looking to start your Everest Base Camp Trek soon and you're wondering how to get prepared? Then this is just the video for you. Let's go. Hello long distance hikers and long term world travellers, Russ here bringing you the best tips and inspiration for hiking around the world. Okay, so in this video we're going to be talking about some of the planning, the fitness training and a packing overview. Okay, so in terms of planning, you can actually turn up in Nepal with no plan and nothing booked, just like I did, and you could be on your way to Everest Base Camp starting from Lukla within 3 or 4 days. It's really that easy. I went in October to start my trek and I didn't know whether I was going to do the Annapurna circuit or Everest Base Camp or something like that, but luckily I found an Airbnb that was there, and the owner of the Airbnb also owned a trekking company just opposite on Z Street from there, and it was very, very handy. They were able to sort out my Tim's card, all my permits, a guide, all the flights, everything was handled. I just paid one fixed premium, which was about 950 quid for the whole 14 days. That was including everything, and I just was like, my mind was blown at how easy it was. Like, you'd think Everest Base Camp would be one of these things that you have to really plan and really figure out, but if you're going with a trekking company with a guide, it's all handled for you and you can just walk and enjoy the ride. Obviously it's a difficult trek and there's high elevation, so maybe it's not just like enjoying a nice walk in the woods. It's definitely not a walk in the park. It's very challenging, but in terms of the logistics and the planning, it's so simple. Within 3 days I was set up and ready to go, and also it was a better price if you book it face to face and you go into their office than if you book it online. Also, if you book it face to face, you're able to come up with decisions on the fly, and they can tell you all of your options. There's no confusion, it's all right there in front of you, so it's much easier because of that. Also, you make some really good new friends as well in the process. All of the Nepalese people that I met were so friendly and so welcoming and so ready to get you up there safely and securely. I will put a link in the description to the trekking company that I use so you can go and check them out, but like I said, if you just turn up there, let them know that you're coming before, obviously book your room and say that you'll book everything there face to face. Okay, so now we've talked about some of the planning and how simple that is, let's talk about some of the fitness training that you should probably be thinking about. Before planning your trip to Everest Base Camp, ask yourself 2 things. Have you hiked over 10 miles in a day, and have you hiked over 3,500 meters in altitude? If you haven't done either of those things, then I think it's a very good idea for you to at least practice doing that. At least you'll know how much your body can deal with the altitude and that you're capable of walking all day for strenuous walks as well. As I said before, this isn't a walk in the park, you will be hiking at altitude, so it's very good to practice that. I'll put a card with a link to a video up here which is all about my altitude experience on the Everest Base Camp Trek, and that runs you through every single day and how I felt and how it affected me and how my body was actually reacting to the altitude. So I hope that really helps you on making that decision. But yeah, you're going to need some kind of good fitness level. I wouldn't say you need to be like ultra strong and ultra fit. I did see people walking up there of all ages, all shapes and sizes, all trying their hardest, but I did see quite a few people getting carried down as they've fallen too ill with the altitude. It was actually quite serious. So yes, altitude is quite a serious thing to consider, but in terms of stamina, if you're practicing hiking, do at least maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe up to 30 miles. You're not going to be walking 30 miles in one day, but because of the altitude, it feels like you're walking 30 miles. It really drags you down. How your body reacts to the altitude is not down to your fitness level, but those who do more endurance walking or endurance running, they will fare up a little bit better than those who don't in high altitude situations. You're not going to be walking too far every single day, but really you should be kind of used to walking longer distances all day long at lower elevation so that you can get used to this. The last thing you want is a sprained ankle or really busted knees from going down all of the big boulders or loads of blisters. You want to kind of toughen yourself up a little bit just before this trek. You don't want to be going there completely fresh. Okay, so now we've talked about some of the fitness and training things that you'll have to consider. Let's talk about an overview of what to pack. If you're going in the spring or the autumn, definitely pack as light as possible. Watch my Everest Base Camp Trek packing list, which will be in a card up here somewhere, and that will give you a good idea of what I packed. You can actually buy everything that you need in Mall in Kathmandu before your trek, but everything that they sell in Mall is pretty much all cheap knockoffs, and they sell them for an exploded price. There's only a few shops around, which I'll put a link in the description to on Google Maps, where you can actually find decent trekking shops there, so hopefully that'll help you as well. But I'll try to avoid buying your sleeping bag, your shoes and your backpack there, because they are probably the most important items that you're going to need to buy. So if you can, at all costs, try bringing those 3 items with you from a legitimate source. If you want to take a look at the shopping experience in Nepal that I had, then check out this video in this card here where I bring you around all of the shops and what the buying experience is like. So overall, the Everest Base Camp Trek, in terms of planning and preparation, you really don't have to do too much. You just have to go with the wind. Once you've booked everything with your trekking company, it's as easy as pie. Overall, the Everest Base Camp Trek really isn't that much of a pain to prepare for. In terms of fitness, I definitely would say that you have to try and toughen yourself up just a little bit before you go. You really don't want to go there fresh, and also definitely consider the gear that you're buying into Nepal and take a good look at it and make sure that it's of a good quality before you buy it if you really have to. Okay everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, then hit that thumbs up. Do be sure to watch either of the videos to my side here. Also, if you haven't done so already, please do consider subscribing to this channel for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.